Okay, we got a wonky geometry problem here today. This one says, in the figure above, line G is parallel to line H. Okay, what just happened? Okay, line H. What is the value of I as in degrees? Basically finding the degree of that angle. So how exactly are we going to do this? Well, it's pretty simple actually, if you know what you're doing. So 35 degrees, so then vertical angles theorem, we'll just call this 35 degrees as well. And then, of course, we can do the same thing for this angle right here, so we can call that 72 degrees. And now, to solve the problem, I'm going to break the dimensions, okay? I'm going to draw a straight line through here. And that was not straight. It's supposed to, like, intersect and go through those lines, okay? And because we know line G and H are parallel to one another, if I drew a straight line that went perpendicular to those lines, it should theoretically form 90-degree angles, right? So this angle right here is going to be 90 degrees. That angle right there is going to be 90 degrees. And then the same thing with the other side. It's supplementary should add up to 180 degrees. But what we can see here is that this angle right here and this angle right here, those are angles of a triangle, okay? And angle I is the third and final angle of this triangle, okay? And so what that means is what we can do is just solve for these angles inside of the triangle. And we can do that because we know that this angle within the triangle, alongside these angles that we found using our vertical angles theorem, have to add up to 90 degrees, right? Because the other side of this perpendicular line, whatever that angle is, has to be 90 degrees. I hope that makes sense. I mean, once I do the calculation, it's going to make sense, I hope. So we know that this has to equal 180 degrees. So we have 180. And then we're going to subtract out the 90 degrees from this side. This is not letting me write. Okay, minus 90. And then we're going to subtract out the 35. And that will give us a value of 55 degrees. So we know that this angle right here is going to be 55 degrees. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other angle in the triangle. So we have 180 minus 90. And honestly, you could just skip the part of 190 minus 90 and just go straight to 90. But we have 90 degrees minus 72 degrees to find that angle within the triangle. That will give us 18 degrees as our value. 18 degrees. So now we have these two angles within the triangle when we need to find angle I. And so that is just another 180 degrees minus 55 minus 18. And that gives us our final answer of 107 degrees for the value of I.